Hey guys, it's HD here, and it's time for glitches in the new Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I've compiled the list of 10 glitches you can do in the game right now. Getting out of bounds in a very messed up camera, just to give you a little sneak peek. By the way, I'm playing on the Violet version, so my ride Pokemon is Miraidon. Anytime I mention Miraidon or see a glitch with him, just know it can be done in Scarlet with Miraidon. Alright, let's go. I don't want to waste your guys' time, so we're starting off with probably the best glitch in the game, getting out of bounds. With this glitch, you can explore the entire region of Paldea from down here in the water, and it's very easy. In order to pull off the glitch, you will have to be towards the end of the story. We need to be able to climb walls with Miraidon, which is unlocked after defeating the 5th and final Titan Pokemon. So once you've done all that, we can do the glitch. The out of bounds glitch is near Alfornada in the cave. Enter it from the town like you see here and follow the path I take down to the spot. It can be kind of tricky to find the exact spot in such a large cave, but if you just copy the route I'm doing right now, you'll be there in no time. Fall down this big gap until you're on the darker surface and go towards the rock overhead. Near the one trainer is this rock merging into the other formation. This is where the out of bounds is done. Climb up the wall with Miraidon and shimmy around this section. It may take a few tries, but eventually Miraidon will just jump through the wall, getting you out of bounds. It may not seem like we are, but could you do this if we were back in bounds? You could mess around in the cave itself, but when you're ready to see the rest of the world, come over to this large gap. You can just fall right out of the cave and into the inside of the entire region. I love this out of bounds glitch in particular, as you're literally able to go anywhere throughout the entire world. Besides Area 0 and Mesagoza, the whole map is just one big connected world, so you can swim to any town or location you want to. It's very neat to see everything from down here, like all the random floating Pokemon centers. Seeing an entire town from this angle is interesting too. Look at those hollow houses and some clueless NPCs. Throwing out a Pokemon will cause them to glitch too. They'll shoot downwards before popping back up on a raft. Speaking of glitchy things, your map is buggy too. When you pull it up, the app or whatever is on it crashes and you're booted back to the overworld. It'll work the second time you pull it out though, but it's still very strange. One of the more notable things when exploring out here are bodies of water. You can use the minimap in the corner to see where they are, but when your character passes through one, you'll snap up to that water. You're still out of bounds, and once you swim away from that water, you'll fall back down to sea level. While exploring out here in general or messing around with the water, you may get stuck sometimes or fall below the world. Luckily, the game respawns you back in the original out of bounds spot. Still out of bounds. So anytime you fade to black, you can just go right back out there and explore. You don't even need to do the glitch again. Fighting Pokemon is another interesting experience. There's a Terra Halucha in this tiny cave when you land, which you can throw your Pokemon at. When the fight starts, you notice that the cave doesn't load and you're practically battling on the water. While I was messing around near a river, I battled a Pokemon which caused me to clip back in bounds. Your characters sometimes adjust their position when starting a battle, and it caused me to snap back into the real world. But yeah, this is a pretty crazy glitch that allows you to see the entire world. It's very easy to pull off, so give it a shot and see what you can find. If getting out of bounds isn't your thing and you still want to see the glitchy world, caves are a great way to do so. When in one, the camera sometimes doesn't behave properly. If you stand near a wall or corner and hold ZL, the camera will clip through the wall, allowing us to see through. We get similar views to being out of bounds, but we aren't all the way down on sea level, so it's cool to see some random caves and just see what's around. It feels like the X-ray glitch from Minecraft where you can use it to find caves. In a similar fashion, I used it to find caves I have not been to yet. Like here with this tiny circle cave that holds a Terra-type Pyroar. I don't think I would have found this little outcoat without this X-ray glitch, so it can be useful to find items or new places. Again, this glitch appears to work in most caves throughout the game. Just gotta find a corner or wall to clip the camera through. Sticking with camera-based glitches, this one's a little different. In Cascarafa, there are these large, massive walls connecting the levels of the city. Scattered throughout those are elevators to help you get around. While playing, I came across a weird bug that happens when you stand near one. When close to it, pan the camera behind you so it's against the wall, and you should see the camera shoot up into the sky. You get a little wiggle room to look around, but the camera will often pop back down to your character. Still, it gives you a cool aerial view of the town, as well as some low-res textures because the game doesn't know we can see them right now. But yeah, all the elevators in this town seem to work with this glitch as long as you're standing near the bottom platform. You don't even need to be near an elevator actually, as some of the walls will just work anyway. I found that swimming in the water near a wall gives us the best results for this glitch. When in the water, I noticed you're given more room to look left and right, and it gives you some very cool views. Just seems to be a bug since these walls are so big that the camera moves up them while panning around. Not sure if it can be done in other places in the world, but it probably can. If you ran into this bug while playing, let me know and where it happened. Up next is another very useful glitch with Miraidon, the backwards jump. Reminiscent of the backwards long jump from Mario 64. By backwards jumping at a slope with Miraidon, you can keep jumping and won't slide off the steep cliffs. To do this, find a slope that you and Miraidon usually slide off of. Begin a jump, and once you're in the air, hold the opposite direction on the control stick so Miraidon doesn't turn around. Face away from the slope with the camera looking directly at you and begin jumping towards it. When you touch the ground again, jump and hold the control stick towards the slope. Repeat this over and over until you conquer whatever slope you are on. One of the best places to practice this movement is in Area 0 near the second research station. The rocky slope here is pretty tall but also straight, so you can just jump up it and slide back down. Also, contrary to popular belief, you can do this at any point in the game. It doesn't matter if you've unlocked gliding or climbing already, it's still possible. Just wait till you land back on the slope before pressing jump again. Don't just mash the button. But I'm glad it survived the patch, as it's a very useful early game glitch to reach items or TMs early, as well as skip parts of the story. This next one isn't necessarily a glitch, but I don't think it was very intentional either. Like I mentioned before, when you get into a battle with a wild Pokemon, your characters sometimes adjust themselves so they're close to the action. Well, we can kind of exploit that to quote-unquote teleport across large gaps. If you're standing over the edge of something and there's a wild Pokemon across a gap, chuck a Pokeball at them. The battle will start, and since you're so far away, the game forces your character across the gap and onto the other side, successfully teleporting. So it could help you cross large gaps early in the game when you don't have the higher jump or climb. But I need to run away from this Garchomp quick because he's level 65, so we're just going to throw a stuffed animal at him and run away, because that works for some reason. Back to the good old camera glitches once again, this time with water. Get into a battle while in any body of water. Now hold ZL and pan your camera as low as you can. This will cause the layer of water to completely disappear, leaving us with kind of an unsettling view. The lighting and shading of the Pokemon will stay the exact same as if they were on land. So now it just looks like there's a bunch of fish Pokemon flying around. You can do this with basically any body of water while in a battle. It just looks very weird to me, but could actually be useful for finding shinies or rare Pokemon though. The water obstructs your vision a lot, making it hard to see underwater Pokemon or different colors of them. By doing this, you can almost scan the surrounding area as there's nothing blocking your vision now. Here's a little throwback to my Day 1 glitches I covered. The mysterious invisible wall. For some reason, this grassy spot on the left side of Mesagoza is buggy. Just in front of the Gopher Bro grill, try walking from the sidewalk to the grass. About half the time, your character will just not continue walking and will be stuck in place. I'm not sure why it happens, and it only happens here. The rest of the grassy section is completely normal, it's just this stretch of land about halfway down the side. It almost looks like there's a slight gap of collision between the sidewalk and grass. My character was slanted downwards while in this state, so it almost looks like he was trying to fall off the ledge or something. You won't get caught on it while riding with Miraidon, and only works from this side. Just a weird thing I came across my first night of playing Violet, and there's probably some more instances out there in the world. Next up is actually one I got from a comment on one of my videos. While in the building, it's possible to force the camera to pan wider than intended. Find something you can interact with that's right up against a side wall. Pan the camera as far as it'll go into that wall and then press A to interact with the thing. The text box or menu that pops up causes the camera to shift outwards, allowing us to see more of the house than we are supposed to. This glitch looks promising, but I'll be honest, I haven't found many good places to do it at. Your house seems like the best one I could find. In the kitchen, you can clip it far enough to the left that you can view yourself from inside the windows and door. Also, the lighting outside the building just looks eerie. But yeah, I'm sure there are other buildings in the world that this could work well in, but most of the places I tried either didn't do too much or didn't have anything to interact with near the wall itself. Yeah, you can get a great view of the wall, but it's not enough to clip the camera out fully. So this is one of my personal favorite glitches, and it requires zero setup on your part. The cutscenes in this game are very well made, but often hide a secret at the very end. When the cutscenes are fading to black, occasionally the characters and Pokemon you see on screen will snap back to their original positions, meaning most of the time you'll see a bunch of T-posing people. It happened at the very beginning with the opening cutscene at the UVA Academy. There are all these students, and on the very last frame before going completely black, you see this. Honestly, it's kind of creepy that they're all staring at you. A very hard thing to miss, but it likely happens all the time when the cutscenes are fading out. Try and keep your eyes out next time you're in the middle of one and see if you can spot it. Our final glitch for today isn't very helpful at all. In fact, it's annoying. As you all know, pressing Y at any point during the game will bring up your map. Well, this is tied to the Rotom phone, and you don't have that at the very start of the game. Right when we take control of our character in the room, try and bring up the menu while walking. Every time you press Y, your character will stop in place for a brief moment, acting like the map is supposed to be pulled up, but then corrects itself. If you mash the button, you'll get this awful stutter. It happened to me while in my house at the beginning of the game, and then in the cave with Miraidon when you rescue him for the first time. Mind you, this was after the game gave me the map, but it still had it disabled during this section. So I guess the devs forgot to create an exception for the Y button, because your character shouldn't stop when you don't even own a map. So there were 10 glitches in the new Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I finally finished this game the other day so I could get around to making this video. Hope these don't get patched out soon, because some of these are pretty dang useful. Also hoping for some good glitches to be uncovered soon, like duplicating Pokemon. That glitch was possible in the original release of the game, but sadly was patched out to the one they just dropped the other week. Oh, and of course, if you guys have come across any yourselves, post them in the comments. They may be featured in a future video. But for now, I'm gonna get up out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, see ya!